Now that the snow is here and winter is finally starting to settle in, it is time to focus all of our time and effort back inside of the house. And this winter, our goal is to finally get some permanent storage solutions built. We have had a good handful of new people come and start to join us on our journey, so I also thought this would be a really good time to kind of do a really quick recap of just exactly the set of circumstances that we're in and kind of what's going on around here. So we moved here about 2.5 years ago to 40 acres of completely raw land. All there were trees. And we have been slowly building our house, slowly building our homestead from scratch, using as much from the land as we possibly can, such as every time we cut down a tree, we try to use as much of that as actual lumber instead of just turning it into firewood. We are completely off the grid, so everything like electricity and water is completely up to us. We have solar, we have generators for our power, and our well. Just last year, we were finally able to successfully hit water. And hitting that water has allowed us to make a few improvements around here recently, such as the shower that is now in our kitchen. So progress around here is pretty slow moving. It's split pretty evenly. In the wintertime, we like to work inside of our house, and then in the summer, when the weather's super nice, we like to be outside kind of working on the land and the infrastructure out there. Our house might look like a little bit of a mess, and that's just because it is, but it's all kind of part of that process of building your home completely from scratch and also living in it at the same time. But today we are going to get started in the kitchen, make this space a little bit more messy so that we can keep progressing towards eventually having that beautiful finished home. So we're gonna start off this week with moving everything away from this back wall. We're gonna put drywall up on this lower half that'll eventually be behind and kind of like the back side of all of our cabinets that we're gonna build. And then we're hopefully gonna also move everything back against the wall all today. We have noticed we've got the generator outside running right now. Cody's outside using some power tools. We've got the house charging, and it does make, through the camera, the lights look a little flickery. I can't see it on my end, but through the camera it does, so you're just gonna have to bear with us on that one. But it's time to start moving all of this stuff. Back up. Good job.
Back up. Back up.
Yeah, you got to back up.
Back up. Back up.
I'm hoping that I have emptied this shelf enough. My goal is just to be able to kind of twist it and turn it and have it sitting right next to the oven right here. So it doesn't have to go that far. I just kind of have to mostly rotate it, and I'm gonna try to do that by myself, but we'll see. I might have to go grab Cody and have him help me turn it. Not too bad to move this. I'm just gonna go slow because I don't want to accidentally knock any jars off. You helping me push?
Yeah.
This is very nice of you. Thank you. Push. Ooh, I think we're good. Hit that. Nice work. Yeah. There we go. Now we are ready to carry in some drywall and get it up. Again, the goal is just to kind of have it pretty low and like this bottom, not even bottom half, more like bottom third of the wall covered in drywall. It's just gonna kind of be a nice backdrop for the inside of our cabinets. We're not gonna do anything special in there because really no one's gonna see it. But I do think we're gonna need to get 2 pieces brought in here to get that up. We'll see how many jars survive this new journey.
Uh-oh.
That is one thing. I have recently learned just how many jars you go through with a toddler who's exploring the world. I feel like for a while there we were breaking a jar about once a week, but it started to slow down. She's getting the hint of it now. At least she's having fun. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put it probably as far into this corner as I can.
Yeah.
Alright, so Cody carried in the sheet of drywall for me, so now we can get started. I'm going to start by getting all of this expanding foam. I'm just going to cut it back because it is going to be in the way of this sitting nicely up against our foam. So I'm going to cut that back. And then this is too tall. We want this just to be the height of the cabinet. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that extra height off of the bottom, and then that way we have a nice straight edge for the top. Eventually, our plan is to tile up above the cabinets, kind of like as our backsplash. And so we'll be putting like cement board up above the drywall, kind of where that seam is. So we don't want the drywall too high, so we have space to actually have that cement board so that everything kind of sits nice and flush. Do you want to help me snap it? If one of us is on each end, it might go a little bit easier. Oh, you got it. Oh, all the way. Nice. You gotta push the bottom my way. There we go. And our first sheet is in. Now we just need to go outside and get one more small one right there. It's just gonna be a partial sheet, and then we'll get them all screwed into the studs, and it's good to go. Fingers crossed it fits.
I'm going to, because we gotta cut this
Well,
straight.
yeah, I'm just meaning the angle though. If the angle works, we're golden. Oh, that looks beautiful.
Pretty close.
Thank you.
Yep.
So I had Cody run outside and get this last piece cut for me. I did have him do it a little bit longer because the edge on the board that we already have up is not straight. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run across this edge that he cut that is straight now, and then we'll have a straight edge on this side that fits perfectly. Should fit perfectly.
Okay, move on down.
Are you being helpful?
Yeah.
There you go.
Like, obviously. Cody's getting the last of these screws put in. Otherwise, once that's done, this whole part is done. We are not going to be mudding anything. We're not going to be taping anything. Again, it's just going to be behind the cabinet, so it really doesn't matter. This is about as finished as it needs to be. So once this is done, we're going to have to put everything back, and then we will move on to the next section of our house that we're going to put drywall up on. So on to our next drywall project. It is the next day. We got most of this kitchen put back together again, but we are still working in the kitchen, so I'm not too worried about getting it all put away because I'm going to want to give everything a good wipe down before we actually get it 100% put back, because we are doing the ceiling. So there's most likely going to be dust kind of falling down on everything today. Ooh. Oh no!
What?
You're ripping that floor joist out.
Yeah, that's why we need to put a support board there.
I know, but like you could have done it with a hammer and not ripped it out so much. Do you not have screws right there into the plywood? Hammer?
Got one.
Rope. Quick appreciation moment for the snow right now. Well, that was easy. Mm-hmm. Interesting technique.
Alright, can we put it up now?
No,
It's not ready yet?
no.
Oh, well, let me know when it's ready. I think it's ready.
All right, time to put it up. Here, why don't you, can you hold it like that and I'll get the wire really quick?
Yeah. I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna get up there.
That's why I said to have the stool. It's gotta go your way a bunch. There you go. Okay, that wire though.
You got it for a minute?
Mostly.
Pull away a little.
You can play with these ones. Yeah. Okay. Woo!
It's one light.
We're going dark.
Turn on the sink light.
Can we?
Yeah.
So we are taking down the rest of our lights in the kitchen. This one is now up and going, so we're going to be working off of that light. This was going to be the hardest piece that we had to put up just because we had to lean over our table to access it. And we could have moved it, but no. No. So the rest of these will be a lot easier to kind of maneuver around and get those sheets up, even though the sheets are going to be bigger. Drywall on the ceiling is never fun. Do you want me to help turn it, or just got it? You just got it, okay. You sure? Here, I've got this end if you want to scooch that way a little bit more.
I want to sit down. Thank you.
Why don't you just pre-put in some screws first, yeah.
Got it. Okay. Now kick that base in tight. Okay.
Man, why is it? It's so hard to do that left-handed. That went too far in. I'm gonna have to put that up on your side though, because I can't get around you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but we're going on my side.
Oh shoot. Okay.
So walk it this way.
Slow, please.
Right. Okay, what did it take?
Beautiful. And the drywall on the ceiling is done. Cody's just getting these last couple of screws put in place, and then we have to go back through and cut out the holes for those lights. So I kind of put green tape in the bays where the lights were sitting. We'll just remeasure out across the ceiling where we think they will fit really nicely. So it kind of looks like this might be an issue, but it really isn't going to be because the depth of our lights is shallower than the depth of this drywall. So it's not going to hit this 2x4 at all, and it's fine that it kind of overlaps that stud a little bit. So we can get this one hung up. Before I do that though, I am going to have to do some mudding on these screws, so we're going to have to do that first before this light can go in. So I mixed up a little bit of mud this morning, and all I'm gonna do is just fill in some of these bigger gaps and holes that we have going around. This wasn't 100% new drywall, but we were able to get it for free from a really good friend of ours. So that was really nice. But it's gonna take a little bit longer for these bigger holes to dry out. So I'm gonna get these patched kind of right now, and then I'll go work on our closet. We're gonna get some drywall up around our closet, and by the time that's done, hopefully these will be dry enough that I can go through, cover all of our screw holes, and then start with taping all of our seams too. Oh, are you getting your winter outfit on? Getting bundled. Just like that, we're already done. Nice and quick. Oh yeah. This last light, there was just a little bit that I had to pat dry by that hole. That's why you don't have that light in there, but they are all working. The big holes have all been kind of patched in roughly, and we just need to wait for this to dry before we can come back to it. The next area that we are doing, like I said, is the closet. So we're going to do both on the inside and on the outside of the closet. We don't have to do on this back wall because it does already have tongue groove all along the back side. So it's just the inside kind of diagonals and then the inside kind of front around the closet doors. But first we need to get all of this emptied. Totally forgot until just now again. There is one more thing we have to do with this closet before we can start putting up that drywall, and that is kind of adjust this closet rod. So we put the closet rod in really before the door came up, before obviously we have any walls or anything, and we thought we measured out the spacing pretty well with these hangers, and technically they do fit, but they fit like perfectly. I mean, there's probably a 1/4 inch spacing on this side, 1/2 inch on the back side. So like, yes, the hanger fits. However, you add a big bulky winter coat and now you're kind of running into the door, you're kind of running into the framing that we have. So we are going to kind of notch this rod down into our 2x4s. We're going to notch it down and back a little bit. So we have a little bit more kind of room around each of these hangers. All right, our closet is fully emptied and cleaned out. Now we are just going to mark and adjust these poles. I think my plan is to measure down 2 inches and have it go halfway down this 2x4, and then we're gonna go over 1 inch. So I'm gonna go down twice as far as I'm gonna go over. All right, so I've got it marked. I had my center point. I just did 2 inches because I'm just going to cut a square out for this to kind of sit down into. I did mark up here that there's wires somewhere crossing around up there, so I know for a fact there are not going to be any right here, so I don't have to worry about cutting into any wires. So I'm going to use the multi-tool and just try to notch this out quick. My blade just isn't quite deep enough to go 2 inches. But if I chisel some of it off, I should now be able to go the rest of the way. Oh yeah. That is so much better. If anything, it's gonna hit that back wall, which I'd prefer the hangers hitting this back wall than hitting like the door or where our drywall is gonna go up. So yeah, I think we're looking really good right now. I'm happy with that. And I know Cody's gonna care, so let's check how level it is. That is pretty spot on. Not bad. We're just gonna have to kind of patch that in, but also the drywall, we'll cover that on that side. And then we'll put it up on that side too.
Go.
That's too short. I need a long one. Long. Yeah, see how big that is? I need big ones. Big.
Yeah, big.
got another big one?
Yeah.
That's a big one. Good job. You got another big one?
Yeah. Look, a big. Go. 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 Go.
Mm-hmm. You have to...
What?
Thank you. It's a used outlet, so it's almond colored, I think. Now we have a cover on there. Yeah. Really just getting one in should be enough.
Yeah, go.
Try your other hand.
you having fun?
Yeah.
Of course. Getting closer. Just one more piece to put up there, and then all the drywall's up for right now. I was not joking when I said that things needed to get messier before they could get cleaned. We're almost done though. So we got all of our drywall up and finished yesterday. We did all around the closet, and then we finished up around the ceiling. We got most of this living room picked up where we can actually see the floor again, but this giant pile on the couch here and the giant pile on the couch here can't go anywhere until the closet's done. We're gonna start with the closet. So we're gonna start putting some mud over the screw holes to kind of smooth it out, and then we're gonna tape all of those seams. So we're gonna start with the closet first, just hoping that we can get a lot of this stuff back in there kind of as the day goes on. Hi. Hi. I see your fingers. We're good to go. So I'm just starting in this corner right here where we had a broken corner, and then also right here. Just to make it easier on myself, I'm gonna rip off these loose sections of paper. And then all of this we're gonna mud over as well, just to get it all smoothed out. But before I put tape on this corner, I want this to be mostly filled in and at least start drying before I get to that point. So, doesn't have to be perfect, but I would like the majority of it to kind of be set and in there. So this is the kind of mud that we're using right now. And honestly, most of our experience with mudding is we get like the pre-made pails. It's super convenient, really nice to have. When we bought this, we weren't sure how much we were gonna be doing at a time. So we kind of thought it might be nicer to be able to kind of mix it as we go, because we weren't sure if it'd be a year, 2 years in between when we started and finished doing our mudding. And I did get the 40-minute one. Probably should have gotten the 90-minute. It is drying pretty quick on me. I'm not quite used to that. And I definitely prefer the pre-made pails of mud that you can buy. So I think if we ever have to get more of this, we're definitely going to go back to doing that the whole time. So since it is setting pretty quick on me, I think what I'm going to do is totally finish the inside of this closet, go to the outside of the closet, totally finish the outside of the closet, and then I'll finish up on the ceiling. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sander, kind of go across some of these spots just to make sure that I got it all nice and smooth, fill in wherever. Like you can see right here, when it dries, it does kind of shrink up a little bit more. So this does need another layer over it. And then I'm going to start taping all of the seams, and we're going to get that done. So I'm dipping mostly just the one side, getting it really well covered. Like that. Smooth it out with the trowel. But I also make sure I have mud on this too, because you want it to be wet on both the inside and the outside. But to make installing it cleaner, I put it on the wall dry, and then I add this after the fact. So just like that, I'm just gonna make sure that there's plenty of mud on the outside of this tape too, and I can always clean it up a little bit nicer later with this sander once it's all dried a bit. So. Oh, straight and or not straight? Is that edge looking to you?
Looks good to me.
Looks good? Okay. Well, that's about all the work time I have on that. It is so dry in this house that this mud, I'm supposed to have about a half hour to 40 minutes of work time, and I probably only have 5 minutes. It's honestly pretty frustrating. I normally absolutely love mudding, but when you don't have that much time to work with it, it is very, very frustrating. So lots of small batches, really, really slow going, but we'll get there. So at least the ceiling is started. closet is finished for right now. Probably still gonna do a little bit more touch-ups later when we actually come back and paint the inside and put up our trim. But now it's at least finished enough that we can start putting stuff in here and get it out of our living room. And the closet is filled again. The outside has at least the first layer of mud on it. We're definitely gonna wanna sand and do some more mudding. And then if you can peek into the kitchen through the mess, the kitchen is also now done. Closer look. So I do have to go do a couple more things where this paper is ripped off, or that one, and then this line of screws. But I just didn't want to mix up enough mud, just do that little bit. So I'm going to wait for all of this to dry. We'll do a big sanding, and then when I come back through to kind of do some more touch-ups, then we'll hit those spots again. But it's looking pretty good.